And we're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 252 of Fans of Power. I'm Joe Amato, and I'm here with one of my partners in crime. That's Nasty Nate, Nathan Kennedy. Tyler doesn't do these magazine ones with us, so that's why you're only seeing us two, or hearing us two if you're getting us, on a rerun. What's a rerun? There, you know what I mean. So that's the case for some people who are watching right now, wondering what the hell's going on. Yep, it's always Nathan. We're always doing this. What's up, Nathan?
Doing okay. These early ones kind of tipped me off a little bit. Well, early for me, not early for a lot of people, but earlier for me because I go to bed later and get up around noon, and I don't have to work this week, so I'm particularly lazy. And in case anyone starts freaking out, no, I didn't get a haircut or nothing. It's just pulled back, so I can let my chin hair hang out. You can see that a little bit better.
Well, today. I don't think they're freaking out about it, but yeah, you need to shave that shin hair.
I know. Shin hair
shit. It's a little too much.
Yeah, kind of getting crazy. I need to do something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's no, I'm not gonna make any bad comments. Hey, let me say hello to everyone in the chat room. I was going to, but I was like, no, I'm gonna be a cool guy today. JSP, 80s Rewind, the 90s. Zen Brown, Zentron, Daniel Carhunen, Masters Universe fan number 1. I think that's everybody that's here, and yeah, I think I got you all.
I'm sure a few more will start pouring in once they get the notification that we're live. But hey, we're gonna do issue 4 of the Masters of the Universe magazine.
Yes, yeah, this one, well, we'll see when we get into it. And hello, Grimbot, and hello, Brian Davis. They just popped up, too. But this one, I guess, when it comes to stories, they weren't as bad as some of the others, but also, I guess I could say they're not really that amazing. Because there's
a incredibly goofy one that is in here.
Yeah, I was trying to be nice, but I probably won't be when it comes to these stories. They're pretty bad. So, however you want. You start off with the pictures, and we'll get going.
Well, I'll save the poster and then the little board game, which will be also turned a different way, so it wouldn't spread horizontally over the screen. So you guys would have to tilt your head to look at it. But anyway,
I never played this board game, by the way. So, but yeah,
that should be something that we should do. Since I have that static image, I can make a little thing. I'll go get a die, and I'll just sit here and roll for the both of us and see what happens. We'll have to do that at some point.
Yeah, we'll do that sometime. Yeah, all right.
But as we open up here, She-Ra is coming your way. Meet She-Ra and her band of freedom fighters as they battle the villains of Etheria. Jesus. Powerful new series on TV Monday through Friday starting September 23rd.
I always love those advertisements. It was always cool as shit. I mean, when you seen something new that was coming like that, yeah, you always remember getting hyped. So, yeah, and that's a good advertisement piece. Definitely a good advertisement piece.
But why did they put Katra over to the side with the heroes, though?
Well, hell, you could say, look, he's over on the bad guys, but I guess he's just hiding. I don't know. I guess, I'm sure Grimbot would probably have a whole fucking explanation. Well, actually, they did that because at one time they were wondering. No, I don't know. I think it's just placement. It's just how they placed it. But I'm sure Grim will fucking chime in with some nonsense. But some of those model sheet action poses still remain undiscovered. Oh, so is that something that the things, I guess, that were shown right here, I guess they still can't even find. So that's kind of cool. So I guess it might be a place where you only see some of that stuff is right here. Or, of course, in the fucking cartoon, too.
Lost to time forever. But our contents in this issue, of course, we get our letter from He-Man. We get the He-Man mailbox, the Orko Earth report. We get our He-Man of the issue, which this time around I made sure to read the whole thing because I did not want to get ahead of myself on that one this time around. And then on page 23, we get our answers to some of the things that we have going on, which is the MEKANECK maze, the Forest Phantom, who goes there.
One question.
Yes.
Do I sound bad or different or loud? Because Grim is asking if I'm using a different mic, so does that mean I'm sounding bad or loud or something? I didn't know. Do I sound different to you?
You sound a little bit louder, but that's...
Oh, okay.
I think it's just where you reached down and you got really close to your mic for a second.
Oh, but yeah, that could be. And it's how I shift things around, so, okay. Yeah. All right, what's up, Papa Huds? Okay, go ahead.
All right. So, of course, on the next page, we get He-Man holding the poster, which the poster that we get this month is just what you have on the cover. We get our important poster safety information, so you don't kill yourself with the staples that are inside, which I'm sure Joe probably hurt himself on multiple occasions back in the day.
I always had to. Yeah, I always had to take like a pin cap. That's what I actually used. I had a pin cap that, the pointed end that I used to lift them up with because, I couldn't get those damn staples out. And the thing with the posters is some of my posters, or some of these magazines, the posters are not in there anymore with the comics because they got all ripped to shit. And some I left in. This one is one I left in, which is why I never did play the board game that was on this one. But, some I'd take out, some I'd leave in. Just because, I guess I didn't want to mess it up after a while. Especially, I think Robato's poster was the one I really jacked up. I used tape to do, I didn't do tacks. I always did Scotch tape on the corners, every poster, and eventually started ripping them to shit.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah.
It's okay, you didn't know any better.
No, I don't. I still don't, but either way, I tried.
How would you feel about the floppy flat flyer from Sunkist?
Yeah, I could say it. Yeah, there's what was that crazy as average? Yeah, the floppy flat flyer. Yeah, I never got that. I was a frisbee nutball. I loved playing frisbee as a kid, and I still got my order for them, so I never mailed off for that thing. But this looks like a boring thing. I'm thinking it's they had some like shitty what I called frisbees back in the day, not the ones where you grab the rim, but these just weird pieces of crap. I never liked those. You couldn't do no, they sucked. So this one I just went right past that page like I don't give a shit. I'm not sending it in.
Do they still make these Sunkist fruit rolls? Because I kind of vaguely remember eating those back in the day. I don't think they make them anymore. I think Fruit Roll-Ups sort of took over.
Oh, I was going to say, I remember Fruit Roll-Ups, and I hated Fruit Roll-Ups. There was, when they first came out, and there was the cherry kind. I don't know, maybe I had weird taste buds, but when I ate them, I thought it tasted like ketchup. I was like, I hate these fucking things. I did. I thought it tasted like ketchup. I was like, I'm not eating these Fruit Roll-Ups ever again. So I had it that one time they first came out back in the day, never touched them again. And like you said, I guess, I don't know, maybe they still make them. Maybe they make these too. I don't know. They're garbage. I can't say that 5 times, but go ahead. Yeah, Zen Brown was trying to say it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think they make the Sunkist ones anymore. But I haven't had a Fruit Roll-Up in a hot minute. I always liked them. I liked them when they had the designs that you could also peel off, or when they had the ones that had the designs on it. You put them on your tongue. It's basically like tattooing your tongue and stuff.
See, and that's the thing. I didn't even know about them because I told you I started off when they first came out and had the cherry. I thought it was ketchup. Never touched them again. And an adult collector said he liked them, so he's got bad taste buds. Well, but yeah, those things are shit.
Speaking of bad, how about this? Yeah? How about this drawing from Gabe Lapierre? That's a really shitty looking Castle Grayskull. I mean,
all right, here we go. Here's the He-Man. Let's get to this. Let's get to the He-Man mailbox. Dear He-Man, I'll do that one you're doing of that Castle Grayskull, based off of what they had with that sketch pad. Dear He-Man, I drew this picture of Castle Grayskull from the sketch pad in the summer magazine. I am 6 years old. That's horrible. I don't care if he's 6. That is terrible. That's a bad Zoar. That's supposed to be basing that Castle Grayskull off of that sketch pad that they showed you how to do it. I hope that poor kid didn't keep drawing, because I can't imagine that getting any better.
Yeah. But Adrian Jones' artistry is a little bit better, but also twice the age. Dear He-Man, I am 12 years old. I like drawing, and I'm one of the best artists in my school. You're the best, He-Man. I'm your #1 fan. Here's my picture of Cobra Khan. It's not that bad.
What an arrogant... No, it's not bad, but geez, what an arrogant fucker. I mean, he's really full of himself. I like drawing. I'm the best artist in my school, or one of them. I doubt that, but no, that is pretty good. It's good seeing him at least in a different pose. So I got to give the kid credit. At least Cobra Khan is in a different thing where he's not just that typical action figure pose or stand and stuff. Yeah. No, it is bad, JSP. That shit, that Castle Grayskull, all that little kid did was look at the sketch pad, try to color it in. He's got crooked eyes. He has no symmetry. Some things should be, some shouldn't be, but that's not good at all. But JSP, it's good that you look out. Oh, David Clark's in as David Clark now and not Adult Collector. Dear He-Man, I am 5 years old. My favorite heroic warrior is Roboto. My brother and I like to create new characters to help you in Eternia. Our latest creation is one named Radon. His power is that he can shoot energy bolts. And that's Peter Wonsowski from Carmel, Indiana.
Peter Wonsowski.
Yeah, Wonsowski. There you go. You said it better. So, somebody probably wrote the letter for him. But either way, that sounds like a cool character. I don't know how old his brother is, but at least it sounded like they actually did have an interesting character they were trying to make with Radon.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad. They should have submitted it to the create a character thing. Dear He-Man, I think you're really wonderful. I don't know What Eternia would do without you. Keep up the good work fighting Skeletor. By the way, I'm 9 years old. This is from... God, what is with these last names this issue?
Bethany Patishnak.
From
Okay, well, it's a cute
Bethany
letter.
Peach Schnapps. There we go.
That's not bad. Not bad. All right, and this one here, we got Dear He-Man. I am 11 years old, and I just figured out something we have in common. My last name is Herman. If you take out the R, my last name becomes He-Man. Good luck on Eternia. And that's Mike Herman. So that kid at 11 years old, he had some logic there. He knew about wordplay, about taking out the R, and then you go from Herman to He-Man. So
just like Stone Cold said, if you take Hitman and put an S in front of it, you get my exact thoughts on Bret Hart.
Okay,
yeah,
well, there you go. All right.
I don't know why that popped into my head all of a sudden, but there you go. Dear He-Man, I like you because you are smart, strong, and very talented. I am 10 years old. I was a merman for Halloween last year. Maybe I will be you for Halloween this year. From Robin Bean from Wolfboro, New Hampshire.
Never had the merman outfit. I did have Skeletor, I had He-Man, I had Hordak, but I never had merman. You look up some of these outfits that you try to get, those Ben Cooper outfits, and some have a really high price, especially the one that I think it's Stone Dar. It's either Stone Dar or Rock On. One was a real difficult one to get, and in fact, they did a King Hiss where the King Hiss face looked nothing like King Hiss. Those are the most expensive ones, but yeah, that just had me thinking about the Halloween stuff when I seen that letter, because I never had Merman. But now we come to the last one on this page, and this is Dear He-Man. Too bad as a warrior who is very hard to defeat. Even so, he's my favorite evil warrior. Try your best when you have to battle with him. I am 10 years old. Brian Sansbury or whatever. I was like, Jesus Christ, is this a supervillain in the making? I mean, just how he was talking is like, Dear He-Man, too bad is my favorite evil warrior. And then he's like, try your best when you have to battle him. He sounds like he's a lunatic already in the making. I don't know. The kid sounded off there. It freaked me out when I read that.
Become a serial killer. You never know.
It's just weird, you know, like it's almost like he's threatening He-Man in the letter, but well, 10 years old, so he's starting off young. You get to the next page now. They have that insert where it was talking about getting 4 more issues, and then, of course, the subscribe thing, so I know we're passing that, and I'll flip to the next letter section.
This one comes from Andrew Young from Brookline, Massachusetts. Dear He-Man, I like the stories and activities in your magazine. I am 10 years old, and I wrote a poem for you. Oh, boy. Here we go. He-Man at Grayskull defending the hall from 2 evil warriors, Screech and Trapjaw. Sorceress and Tila fighting Skeletor side by side, using magic and skill, forcing Skeletor to hide. It's not bad. It's not bad, but what's up with this fucking dog?
Oh, God, you got me, because that was the next thing I wanted to do. You notice there is no age for this person, because I'm assuming this person might have been like 17, 18 years old, didn't want to admit how old he is, because showing his fucking deranged dog He-Man figure. I always hated this page. I really did. Every time I see that dog, I was like, it's just a picture of a horrible
and his name. And his name's Joseph. Were you going by some sort of pseudonym? Did you draw this?
Could you imagine I did a fake name? We got to try to find Joseph Marino, see if he's on Facebook, and just show this picture and see if we can find the Joseph Marino that did this. And he's probably, like I said, about 60 now or something. He was probably old as shit when he did it, but that...
Why would you do that?
That's
Why
strange.
would you print it? Why is there no explanation?
No, you know, and I can't remember with all the others. The others I thought always had something to say with them, and I don't know if the future issues we did something like this, but yeah, it's always seemed out of place. I didn't like it when they just showed a picture, unless it was a magnificent picture, if they had one. Not good at all. But Dear He-Man, okay, this is from Shane Watkins from Talladega, Alabama. Dear He-Man, I like the way you battle against Skeletor and teach him a lesson. I like the way you say by the power of Grayskull. Well, got to tell you one thing, Shane. It's not He-Man that says that. It's Adam that says it to turn into He-Man, so you fucked up. One day I hope to be as wise as you are, because he's not wise now. If you're ever near Earth, stop by and see me. So there you go, from the unwise
I guess he would
Shane
only
Watkins.
have to wait about another year and a half, right? When Dolph Lundgren would come to Earth.
Sweet Jesus.
Dear
right,
He-Man,
go ahead.
I think the posters in your magazine are great. I am 7 years old. I really enjoy reading your stories. Tell everyone in Eternia hello for me. From Jason DeLunas from West Plains, Missouri.
The only genuine letter that I think we got so far that seemed really good and genuine, it's like, I can believe that kid did that. I believe that Jason did this. And now we get to Julie Britton of Ontario, California. Dear He-Man, I love your magazine. I also love animals, so I decided to draw a picture of Panther for you. I'm 11, and I'm a big fan of yours. It just looks basically like a silhouette of Panther. I don't know if she displayed her figure, looked at some cross-cell art, but the saddle is just... I guess a good attempt for 11, but it's bland. It's like, where's there any lines or any kind of
there's a little bit of shadow work, like on the neck and on the behind legs and the underbelly there.
But that saddle fell to shit. She did a good job on Panther, but that saddle is wretched, Julie. I hope to find you on Facebook. See, I can't even talk. She can get me on that. I said Facebook, but I hope to find her on Facebook.
I imagine when we finish with these, you go and just look up all of these people, and probably, even if you find a name that matches, you message them and be like, hey, did you write the He-Man magazine back in the 80s? And they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, because like even Grimbot's saying, Grimbot said, how come all these letters treat He-Man like a real person? Well, that's the thing. We believed in it. You know what's funny is just to sidetrack real quick, and it just shows how stupid a kid can be like I am. When I was a kid, I remember when they'd go around the malls, they'd go around the stores, and there was the person that dressed as He-Man with that horrible rubber face and Skeletor. Real. And they had others that would go... And I felt like, hey, it's really He-Man. It's really Skeletor. And... I mean, it's a guy in an outfit, but Christ. So I'm sure you're believing, like, hoping.
No.
I don't know.
Maybe when I was, like, little, but not these kids that are 11 years old. By the time I was 11, come on, man. Like, I was making out with chicks. I knew what was real and what wasn't.
Yeah, maybe I was like 8 or something when I was seeing the He-Man and Skeletor at the stores. Yeah, when you're obviously getting older, then you know, okay, this is fake as mess. But yeah, some of these people write in. It's something to aspire to and believe.
More like Joe was 24 and he was walking in the mall and he's like, "Oh shit, it's He-Man!
It's He-Man! It's He-Man! I can get pictured. I don't have a camera." Oh, this shit didn't even exist back then with any cell phones and stuff. Shows how old I am. All right, next letter for you. There's 2 letters left before we get into some of this other crazy shit.
Dear He-Man, I am 10 years old. I wish I could help you on Eternia and beat Skeletor and his evil warriors. Someday I hope to be as strong as you. Tell Orko and Manny Faces I think they're great. Once again, this goes to the point, like, dude, you're 10. Like...
But hey, 10 years old. Come on now. People had imaginations and they try to dream and believe in fantasy. So I'm going to give it to that Justin. Justin's okay. We'll get to the 4th grader, and that's the last one. From Brandon Herbert, Mesquite, Texas. Dear He-Man, I'm in 4th grade, and I like you and Oracle and all your friends a lot. I like the puzzles and games in your magazines. Keep up the good work. And yeah, he's right. I like the puzzles and games too. So I guess Brandon was okay. So this time, I guess the people weren't too fucking terrible. Just there was a couple questionable pieces of art. Well, actually, all the art was questionable. And a couple shitty stories, but I guess the kids weren't that bad this time.
Yeah, that dog's fucking something else. Why is Mattel trying so hard to put over this Hot Wheels Railroad Freight Yard? It's been in every issue so far.
Maybe they couldn't sell it, but I didn't like this kind of stuff. I don't even know if I ever had a racetrack. I might have had one where it just went in a circle or the figure 8, but these kind of things, I liked Hot Wheels, don't get me wrong. I actually liked having little Hot Wheel cars, but I never got into these tracks and things. They weren't my thing.
Well, speaking of stuff that was never my thing, in the Orko Earth Report, here's a bunch of TV shows that I don't even know existed. The time...
I just went go ahead. I went always past the kid, nothing.
Time Out is a news show for kids, and then Danger Bay on the Disney Channel.
And you know what's funny is, of course, not having cable back then, I never heard of it. I didn't know how long Disney Channel was out. I didn't even know it was out back then. But I mean, obviously, reading there, you could see it. But I didn't have a Disney Channel. The Time Out, that sounds absolutely. I mean, it sounds boring. Time Out doesn't sound like anything a kid would want to watch. So that didn't look good. The books, I was like, oh, here's a book. I don't care. I don't care. It was cool with Malcolm Jamal Warner because everybody watched Cosby Show. But then when I seen, oh, here's something about football, I don't care. God, I hated some of these Earth
It's telling you when the NFL begins its regular season play.
Oh, that's
and the
great.
World
It's
Series.
Like you couldn't see that in the news.
Telling you about the World Series. But was there anything of note in here about Malcolm Jamal Warner?
I just talked about how, like, when he started off and acting, how he got into acting, and that he'd be returning, of course, and everybody for the next season of the Cosby Show. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only show in anything that somebody could gravitate to see. It's like, oh, Cosby Show. Everybody knew that. Nobody. I mean, hell, even back then, like I said, I didn't even know about Time Out back then or Danger Bay. It meant nothing to me.
Yeah. It's just kind of like filler pages, because that whole thing, I just read it just now. It's like, oh yeah, when he's off, he's doing schoolwork and stuff. It's like, could they not make it like He-Man related somehow? Be like, hey man, do you play with He-Man figures? It's like, no man, I'm like 28 right now.
I guess that's what I expected. Of course, it is the Earth report, but I still expected something He-Man related. Like I said, maybe a celebrity talking about He-Man or doing something. I mean, the only thing that you got He-Man wise was seeing Orko and seeing the name Orko. But yeah, I never flipped over that stuff at all. Just, yeah, wasn't for me.
Yeah. Well, the Darkest Day by P.E. King is actually just a really, like, essentially the story is Skeletor has put a dark cloud over everybody, and it's up to He-Man and Cyclone and Man-at-Arms to stop him, which I'll go ahead and flip to the next page. Like, what is up with Man-at-Arms right here? Look at his face. What is it with Man-at-Arms in these magazines?
And those eyes do not help. What's weird is it almost seemed like it was going to start off good. I remember when I first looked at it, Skeletor, I was like, not bad. I mean, especially as a kid, I was like, I didn't care. I was like, Skeletor looks kind of creepy as shit. And you got Triclops and Webstor, and then you get to the heroes, and they look weird. I mean, everybody looks strange. It even looks like Cyclone's making some weird grimace face. But then the story got convoluted, confusing. They made it sound like they were all at, King Randor's throne room. And then you're seeing right here, though, you're seeing everybody's right there at Castle Grayskull. But Adam turns into He-Man, then they go to Grayskull. I'm like, but he's at Grayskull, but the story makes it sound like they're at the throne room with the king. And I don't know, it was confusing with what they were showing of the text to what they're showing on the pages. Yeah. But there's this dark cloud. It's supposed to be their way of, like, blinding all the heroic warriors. And it said it could even, like, blind the evil warriors. But Triclops can use his vision to where he could see, and they'd be able to take over Castle Grayskull. I was like, and then they made it like a point to talk about how people would, they're choking on the smoke. It's like, well, okay, I understand Triclops can help you see going, but how is Webstor? How is Skeletor? How is none of them choking on this cloud? I don't know. They were trying something to where it could have been good, but it just, it wasn't good at all. It was another story that was a very forgetful. And see, this is what's weird. I almost felt like there's two people drawing this. Like, if you look back at the first page and you see Skeletor doing what, his thing, doing that spell, it's really detailed. And then you get to this page where it's showing what you're showing right there, and Skeletor looks horrible. It's like the art changed. In fact, I didn't look. Did it mention if there was multiple artists on that or something? Because I don't know what the hell happened. No, it didn't.
Yeah, it just shows the author. I don't even think any of the artists that provided anything for the magazines got credit. Unless...
Well, there was one. Oh, yeah, there was ones that did get credit in the other ones. I don't know about this issue, but yeah, they did credit the artists in some of the other magazines. But this one, it just says by P.E. King, so I don't know if it meant P.E. King wrote and drew some of it or something. But yeah, it's just the art fell from one thing to another. It's very noticeable, so... And wait, let me see. Grimbot says, why would Skeletor choke when he's a demon? Joe, you're such a phony fan. He's coughed before, Grimbot. God damn it. All right, so, all right. But yeah, it's... go ahead.
I mean, at the end, Cyclone helps... basically.
But why is it his head? Look at how it's spinning off of his head, not his body. Yeah. That's what kills me. It's like his head spinning, and it's one of the most piss-poor Castle Grayskulls I've ever seen drawn.
I think the only thing that could have saved it is if we would have had more shitty Man-at-Arms art that you could put on a t-shirt for me to buy.
Yeah, this one had nothing. I mean, I'll admit, the Skeletor... Yeah, just that Skeletor at that thing that he opened at the beginning, I was like, that was a good piece of art, but everything else just was not good at all. It was terrible.
We will swiftly move on to our He-Man of the issue. This is Jason.
Which we can't knock.
I can't.
We can't knock this guy.
Yeah, when I first was flipping through the magazine, I'm like, all right, what kind of fake dipshit story we got here? And I was like,
not this time. So you go ahead, you read this
But
one. It's a nice
this is Jason Van Beek of Chino, California, is our super talented He-Man of the issue. Jason is a national champion in his age group in several different sports, but there's something special about Jason's incredible athletic abilities. Jason competes in a wheelchair. He's a wheelchair sports champion. When he was 9 years old, Jason had a viral infection called, and I even looked this up beforehand so I wouldn't mess it up, and I already forgot the pronunciation.
It's either Julane or Gulane. I wouldn't know how to pronounce it either.
It's Barre.
Oh, Barre. See, look at that. So I already butchered both of them, and I'm sure JSP will be able to find something on it.
I should have prepped myself again. I was telling it.
It's a sad story,
it really is.
It's sad, but
it left him.
It has a little redemption.
Left him paralyzed from the neck down. But as soon as Jason started rehabilitation at Casa Colina Hospital, he knew that his illness wouldn't keep him from his natural love of sports. Slowly, with a lot of work, Jason has recovered strength in his arms and some use of his legs. Now Jason competes in wheelchair sports all over the country and has won 3 gold medals in national competition. His favorite sports are tennis and basketball. Last year, Jason's basketball team won the national title in state competition. Jason has won several tennis trophies and other medals and ribbons. Recently, he started competing in 5 and 10 kilometer road races, the events he finds most challenging. Jason trains and practices with other athletes in his junior sports program several times each week. Jason can now walk with help of leg braces and is making a remarkable recovery. Congratulations to Jason for his dedication and super accomplishments in wheelchair sports. So, yeah,
That was pretty.
I couldn't even imagine. Like, you're 9 years old, you get hit down, like, essentially you think it's just it probably started off and then like just quickly escalated, and like here you are, like you're paralyzed from the neck down. I couldn't even imagine like that feeling, and just probably how quickly that happened to him, and then how long you'd have to be in the hospital, having the doctors come in, telling you all this stuff, having to wait, what you'd have to do, like how long,
and wondering if you'd be able to walk or move your arms or any of that again. I mean, that had to be frightening. And see, that's a good thing, I guess, with at least Masters of the Universe and him writing in, the cartoon, and probably meant a lot to him, and probably had a hero he could look up to. And you'd hope, you always wonder what happened to, everybody that, writes into these magazines, because you'd hope that guy maybe did hopefully get full use of his legs back and arms and everything, because that, I couldn't imagine how frightening that could be of any age, from being a kid or an adult, and you lose, the ability to walk or move or any of that.
It's one thing if it's accidental, like a car accident, or you fell from a incredibly high height, but for it to be an infection and just like, I can't, like, just out of nowhere like that. Yeah, I couldn't imagine, but hopefully Jason Van Beek is still around. Hopefully found a way to keep going at it and make a full recovery and live a regular, I put that in quotation marks, life.
I know what you mean. Yeah. So that one, couldn't knock the kid. Grimm was trying to knock him, but I can't do it. I couldn't knock this kid. That's a hell of a story. But speaking of, now we can knock something out, because we're going to go for the fight for the fright zone. Okay, we were talking. Yeah, I guess you're right. There are no good stories in this, because this is a horrible story. Yeah. The art is terrible. I mean, I guess Cheryl with doing the colors, I mean, she did the best with what she could for what she had, even though the colors weren't matching on a lot of things. But this was just so stupid. Yeah. Skeletor wants control of the fright zone, and by doing it, he knows he can't pass up a challenge or something. So they're going to play a game of flashball,
which is it's basketball, basically, which with no rules.
I hate it when they don't you hate it when they got the rules? They mentioned you got to get it in just my spot.
I mean, like it's got basic like basketball, soccer-esque terminology.
I hate to announce the team, didn't you? When it was like, okay, here's my team: Cobra Khan at left guard, Whiplash at left forward. I'm like, oh my god, I feel like I'm listening to the intro to the NBA at the beginning. That was so stupid. And then it was cool seeing Modulok, I guess, being part of the team, and he's the only person on the horde that scored. But it's so easy. They made us like, oh, this is gonna be one hell of an intense, grueling game. Even though as dumb as the concept is, you figured they're gonna be doing some crazy shit. Skeletor literally he gets the ball and he throws it right in goal. And in the next panel, Modulok stretches his arm out. I don't know how and why, but he stretches his arm out and scores. I was like, huh? What happened?
All right, so it's called flashball, but they have a face-off, which is like a tip-off from basketball. They have some tackling going on down here like football, but the position names is more like soccer. So they couldn't figure out what they wanted to do with this. To me, it looks more like basketball, just because of, as you mentioned here, on
5-on-5 and balls and getting them into here.
What they're doing.
It was. I didn't know how anybody could have had that approved. I know that they're supposed to make fun stories, but have something that at least could make you think, all right, well, I'm in a different realm, because again, this felt Earth-like, even though they're on another planet. But the gold thing is what killed me. As quick as Skeletor scored, but why instantly on the next panel, without showing how anything happened, Modulok scored? I mean, I don't get it. Did he maybe? I don't get it. Skeletor scored, but then Modulok's right there to score too.
It's like a montage. But it doesn't matter anyway, because the flashball goes into a deep crevice in the canyon here, and that's it. They can't play anymore.
And what's even worse is how it ends. You know, where he's like, "My challenge still stands, Hordak. I demand a rematch." And I flipped the next page. I was like, "Wait, where's the fuck's the rest of the story?" There is none. It doesn't say the end or nothing. You know what I mean? I was like, where was the end of the story? It should have said the end right there under Hordak. But it made you think there was more. I kept going. I was like, okay, well, I guess that's the end. That was a really bad story. That one was terrible.
Leech in particular looks really fucking terrible.
Yeah, the greens and those lips, and it's just like how Grim said it was lipstick. That is. I mean,
Leech looks like he's about to go out on a date.
Yeah, those are some big red lips. Of course, I can't say that because I have big red lips, but it's awkward on him. Well, I do. My lips are red, and that's why I don't show my face half time too. Everybody says, "You really?"
Oh my god! We're gonna get it. We really want to get into this. Yeah, that's the main reason Joe's afraid to show his face.
Okay, it's not. But yeah, so there's the end of that wretched story, and then they have the cool things. I always wished that when they did these, you know, connect the dot things, that they could have been slightly more detailed. And I always hated the abundance of the numbers. It seemed like it wrecked it when I was trying to do something, but it was still cool. I never had a problem with these at all. I mean, you always knew instantly who was going to be in that picture. But I still got a kick out of doing them. Mossman looks a little strange, but I always like to connect the dots in all those things.
The face on Mossman is very, very weird, but I always liked doing these as a kid.
Yeah, I always like connect the dots, yeah. I never had a... Damn, I just realized when we get to the next page, back to MEKANECK Maze, I'll wait till it comes up. If you thought it was bad on the other page, whoo,
yeah.
It's even... Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what the... Hey, but at least Modulok's on here, so that's cool.
Anytime you can have Modulok, like, not bad. MEKANECK, not bad. Leech, that coloring is crazy. This was kind of like a boring maze. I didn't like these basic ones.
Did you do it, though? Did you also do the other before that? Show those up to the screen if you filled them out.
Well, I mean, it's not bad. I did the connect the dots with... I don't know if you can see it. Can you see? Because that's where I'm at. Okay. So I did that. That was fine. The... maze, what the hell did I do? Because that looks a lot of...
I bet there's a lot of back and forth going on.
Well, let me look. I want to make sure I didn't cheat. I started, I went down the slide, I went up. I don't know. I don't think I really screwed up. Again, I don't know if you're going to be able to see how it starts, but I think I did it kind of okay. It's going to get glared on there. That one wasn't too bad. I think I did.
You really like scribbled those lines in, didn't you?
Leave me alone. Leave me alone, goddammit. So we go from that.
I feel like you hit a wrong turn at some point and started getting pissed off like you do. I'm surprised there's not like a bunch of stamps in there again.
I had some bad things when I would do... Yeah, when I would have a thing where I went the wrong way... Yeah. Let me see. I'm looking at the next thing with the forest fires. That's basic.
Yeah. No, this was depressing.
He's like, I can't. This raccoon looks sadder than shit. It's like, you're trying to imply that all these raccoons are getting burned in the forest. Like, well, thanks for cheering me up. Go to this museum trying to have fun, and then instant depression.
What are you trying to say, raccoon? You mean you guys don't have buckets and fire hoses out there? You can't just grab them and put that shit out yourself? Come on now.
Yep, and just to let you know, I did not draw anything in the Who Goes There section that'll be coming up next. I left a lot of things blank.
I bet you did. You showed up for proof. I don't believe you.
I am not doing it.
Do it.
I'm not showing.
Joe, you have to. That's the whole point of doing these magazines, is to see what little Joey Amato did to these magazines when it's show it. Come on. Do it.
Do you believe me if I said it was somebody else in my family? It wasn't me that did it, okay? So
I won't believe that, but go ahead.
It's the God's honest truth. I did not draw this, okay? Grim, you get the fuck out of the chat room now, because I can only...
Is it something we can put on a t-shirt?
No, that's it. I didn't do it. It was fine.
Wait, no. Really hold that up there. I want, like... We need to, keep it up there for a good minute so we can get a good screen grab of it.
I'm not showing that again. I didn't do it. I'm sure Grimbot has already screen capped that, and we're going to see a lot of shit from it.
Grim, if you could, screen cap that, and then sort of, redraw over it and color it, and then send it to me and Joe, and then we can put it on a t-shirt. I would wear it. I would put that on a shirt. I'll wear it.
I swear to you, that was not me. So leave alone, everybody. It was somebody. Oh my God! Look at what he's writing. What abomination!
What did you name it?
I didn't, because I didn't draw it. It wasn't me.
Sure.
I swear to you, it wasn't. I swear I did not do that. I could draw better than that. And you're like, oh, you guys are sitting there making fun of somebody that's 10 and 12 years old drawing Joe. Looked like he didn't look his eyes closed.
18 when you drew that?
Shut up. I swear to you, it wasn't me. So we gotta go to the next page. Again? That was.
I just want to look at it again.
It's not. I swear.
Well, who did it then?
I did not. It was my cousin.
A little bit over. To your right.
He drew that. Wait, to my right? Okay. This right?
Or... Up a little bit. Up a little bit.
The other way?
There you go. Up a little. There you go.
Okay.
Oh, man.
This was not me, though. It was not me, everybody. So please remember that. So don't give me shit. This was not me. I was a relative that drew that.
Anyway.
Okay, all right. What's the next page?
On the next page, we get our answers. We get the MEKANECK maze, which, Joe, there you go. You can look and see if all of your hard scribbles worked out.
I was correct.
We have our mystery message, which we haven't gotten to yet. So I'll go ahead and read this, and then we can look at the image. Fisto and Stridor go to Castle Grayskull, but before long they are ambushed by Webstor and Whiplash. Fisto swings his fist, which knocks them flat. Atop Stridor, Fisto arrives safely. So I believe...
I can't wait till you get to this page, because wait till you get to this. This hurt my head when I was a kid, and it still does now. It's like, okay, I understand what you guys were trying, but I thought that they were all supposed to sound exactly like what we were, we were seeing. But look at, okay, you can see right there, Fisto and Stridor, and then I see Goat, or what the fuck was the answer? Hold on.
Goat 2.
Goat 2. Okay, but I was like, okay. Oh, Goat 2. Okay, Cast, and then Gray Skull, and then we got Butt before. It's like, but that's a bat. That's not a butt. So
yeah, see, they could have just put an ass right there.
Yeah, and then they have a log, which is supposed to be long. So I'm looking at half the shit. I was like, but that's not what it should be. But then we got they're ambushed, and then what's that? By Webstor and Whiplash, which was good. Fisto swings his fist, and what's that supposed to be? Which knocks them, and it's a thumb, but I guess the thumb is supposed to be them flat. Yeah, that's what I mean, flat, and then top is good, Stridor, Fisto, and then it says, arrives safely.
Hives.
Hives. Oh, hive, safely. So some things, I guess, were a fun pun, But
Yeah,
others of
that
they just
bad
weren't
thing
good.
didn't
I
work.
didn't like
You
that.
guys just needed to put like a picture of a butt right there. Just draw a butt and put it in the magazine.
Yeah, and the thumb or them and thumb, they could have thought of something else. But otherwise, it was a good one. But it was boring as piss.
Sorry,
Didn't like
I'm
it.
looking
Didn't
at the
like it.
chat about Joe's masterpiece. I'm still thinking, but please, Grim, just trace over it, color it a little bit, send it to Joe. Joe, you better put that on a fucking shirt. I will wear it. It'll be amazing. I'll go out and people will be like, "What is that?" I'll be like, "It's Joe's masterpiece," and I'll be like, "Who's Joe?" And I'm like, "Well,
This
you just gotta subscribe to the Fans Power YouTube channel, youtube.com/fanspower."
Can I say again that I did not draw it though? I swear to you, I did. It was somebody else. You could tell it's not my art. I mean, you can tell.
How mad
I
did you
that.
get when someone else drew in your magazine?
Well, I let them because I wasn't gonna draw.
Boom!
There, so
there it is. Joe drew it.
So
there it is. Confirmed.
No, I said I let them draw. All right, what's the last page? We got ta-da. What is this ta-da?
Presenting a bright new look in children's home video. I've never actually... Well, there's a Heathcliff down there, and we got Master Universe. Let's go ahead and read this. Kids want to have fun. They love the heroic adventures of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Beanie and Cecil's goofy gags crack them up. Crack them up time and time again. There we go. And just about everyone enjoys the fairy tales of that portly pussycat Heathcliff. But does he stink? Now these popular characters have come home to Magic Window, a family of entertaining video cassettes made especially for today's kids by RCA Columbia Pictures Home Video. The Magic Window opens with 3 new video cassettes, each packed with a valuable premium, while supplies last.
This is cool as
He-Man
shit.
and the Master Universe Volume 12 comes with an official He-Man battery-powered toothbrush.
And then Beanie and Cecil do the same almost thing, but I just gotta say something.
So it's just gift sets with a VHS tape.
But hold up, but I gotta do this because I already know the merchandise people will go nuts almost like I am. Tyler first basically knows of every one of these fucking Magic Windows and all those fucking box sets. I mean, I'm sorry, any of the cases for the cartoons. I've never seen, until looking back here, I didn't know that they did this bigger box with the special toothbrush, because just to let you know, they sold those toothbrushes in just the box. See, if you look where they're showing He-Man, and you see next to him the toothbrush in that window, there is the toothbrushes that are sold in just that box, but I didn't know there was one sold in a special window box. That's a whole nother cool piece of merchandise. I might have to scan this and share it online to see if anybody's ever got these. That's fucking cool as shit. I never knew about that.
And it's available on VHS and beta, so that's interesting. Like I would prefer to have the beta copy of that. Yeah.
Damn. I'm gonna have to look for these both. I mean, we'll see if there's beta or VHS, but I wonder if it was something that maybe, since they're so limited, what did it say? It's real limited?
While supplies last.
While supplies.
So there probably wasn't too many of them.
Damn, only $24.95 at the time. Probably now going to be like
honestly,
$400.
Out of these 3, I would prefer to have the Heathcliff plate, cup, and bowl set. But that's just me.
No, I know. I got to take the He-Man. Got to take He-Man. Anything cool like that merchandise. So there you go. There was issue 4.
We're not done. We're not done. We got the glow-in-the-dark posters, Joe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and we got to talk about the poster first. The great Earl Norm piece, and then
Did you ever have any glow-in-the-dark posters?
No, and I love glow-in-the-dark stuff. I mean, I was obsessed on anything that would glow in the dark. I remember Count Chocula, I think, came with like a pack of stickers, and they had like glowing eyes. I loved anything that glowed was cool, but I never had a glow-in-the-dark poster. I never had these things because I never sent out the form.
Yeah, I had a few like blacklight posters back in my day. Yeah.
Did you?
They weren't bad. Like I at the same point, they're kind of pointless. Unless you just have a bunch of them and you want to just sit in darkness with the blacklight on all the time.
Yeah, I guess not my thing. But I love the Beast Monster poster of that supposed to be coming out of the Fright Zone. That was cool as hell. I always loved that damn poster.
Always.
And I like seeing that. At least they acknowledge see, because as you've seen, this thing's been called a lot of different things and sometimes nothing at all throughout Masters history and its little bit of appearances here and there. But at least you got a name, you got something. His sword's glowing. We of course aren't going to see a strike because you don't want to see any like blood or violence. But we know what probably the next thing was right there. But that's a badass piece. Cyclone, Moss Man down there too, waiting for He-Man to clear the way, hiding two chicken shits.
Earl Norm always did fantastic work for these magazines. And then
Exactly. And even the tree, like, because remember that tree that grabs, it even felt like it was alive there. I felt like it looked like it was ready to come down and grab. As crazy as it sounds, it looks like it's ready to go, especially knowing the play set of, like, how it grabs. I felt like there was life in that dead-looking tree, if that makes any sense.
And then...
Yep.
Yeah,
you can't turn this thing.
I turned it specifically so everything would fit in this window here, but like you guys get the general idea. But here's this board game, which is a nice little touch. Like, granted, it's on a poster, so that would be kind of flimsy, and I'm sure kids probably tore up their poster playing this. But you got all kinds of stuff here. You got Etheria and Eternia. You got the Fright Zone. You got Snake Mountain. It's all here.
I'm going to have to probably, download that off of He-Man.org just to check it out and see what it looks like. Because, like I said, it's still in my magazine. I never took it out. So this is one of the few that I never got to play. The ones that were in the coloring books, remember, those were side by side. I do those. And remember, I scanned those in, redrew, and colored them so people could have some fun games to download and play with their kids. But never got a chance to do this one.
We'll have to, you and I will have to just do a couple of these one day.
Yeah, flip a coin or, like you said, roll a dice. I mean, most of the games I know, like the coloring book ones, I know those were all just a quarter or something. Flip a quarter, heads goes 1, tails goes 2, or however it worked with the spaces. I don't know what this is with the rules on this
one requires a die.
Oh, then that could go kind of quick. Okay, all right. Well, that I think now is the magazine. So I guess the kids were, like I said, there were some kids that were full of crap. Some did pretty good. We had a good He-Man of the issue. We had 2 horrible stories. We had a piece of art that I did not draw, so don't give me any flack.
I want it on a shirt. It must be put on a shirt. We have to. We have to. Joe, make it happen.
I could picture
Joe's still gotta upload some more stuff on his TeePublic website.
I will, but if Grimm actually does, God forsake, if he actually does redraw and color that, then I guess,
please,
I'll
Grimm,
put it up.
Please do it. It'll be fantastic.
Oh, shit. Well, hey, did you guys know that this Friday gonna have season 3 of Cobra Kai? It's early.
I can't wait, and it's on Netflix. So if you guys were concerned about signing up for YouTube Premium, I know since then they had put those episodes up for free for a little bit of time. And now it's on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, there's no excuses. Go watch.
No, and I think even don't they have season 1 and 2 even on DVD for purchase with like some extra stuff or bonus stuff?
They did. I think around this time last year they had season 1 and 2 DVD that I saw at Target and Walmart and should have bought because the prices on those have gone up quite a bit.
Really, about how much? Because I was at Myers the other day and I seen Cobra Kai season 1 and 2 like in a little box set. What are they running for? Because I might have to go get that today if it's going to go astronomical.
How many did they have?
There were a set of 3. There was 3 of them that were right there. I looked and then I put it back because I was thinking, okay, I don't think I need to get this. But if you're saying they're pulling some super high price,
I guess maybe they re-released it then because I see some of the prices on it have gone down. Did it come with a headband?
No headband. I don't think so. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't think it did. It just said Cobra Kai season 1 and 2.
Yeah, I would suggest going and picking it up just so you have it for sure. But maybe they did just re-release it, which, hey man, that would be good for people like kind of getting like, oh hey, and then they go on Netflix and see season 3. But yeah, I'm pumped because originally that was supposed to come out on the 7th or 8th, and I would have been back at work then. So now it's coming out on the 1st. I can binge it all, and I don't have to go anywhere the next day. So
I'll try to take my time. It's going to be hard, but I'll try to make it last a little bit. I know that a lot of people like binging in 1 day or 2, but I got to make it stretch. I got to stretch it out because once you're done watching, it's done. It's over.
But then you can go back and start from the beginning and watch everything from season 1.
I have patience, though. But I like being patient. I like being surprised. I like just picture if it would be on TV, it'd be like once a week. You gotta wait, but I know
No.
people don't have that kind of patience. I surprisingly do. As high strung as I sound and am, I actually have very good patience on
It
things.
must have been all
So
those drawings you were doing in the magazines as a kid.
that's not nice. So if anybody in the chat room, because we usually don't do it, if you guys have any comments or questions you want to do real quick, we'll try to answer those up because we'll be wrapping this up probably right around 3 o'clock. But yeah, there you go. Issue 4. Beautiful art, some okay stuff, but stories were some of the
I
worst.
would say easily that out of the issues we've done so far, this is probably the weakest one by far.
It was because, well, yeah, because the stories first are really weak, but we couldn't really rag on the hero, the He-Man hero of the month or whatever, because
Yeah.
you can't do that. I mean, the guy, that poor kid, and the letters. Surprisingly, there were some good letters. There were some crappy ones and some arrogant ones, but yeah, couldn't really rag on them this time. So I guess they're okay. What is Grim saying, Joe? You and your old ways. I don't know what I did.
About
but,
how you
did I do
you
something?
take
Did I
your
say
time watching TV shows and you don't binge like the rest of us do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because then earlier I was doing some stuff where I was doing some trivia art, where I put that up on my wall. Because yesterday I put one where it was kind of an easy one, where I just did I changed the Wind Raider and turned it into, and I took the Talon Fighter and put it there. And so that was easy, but I told everybody I'm going to start doing things that get tougher. So today I did one that drove everybody nuts. There was the art of Battle Bones from back in the day. And I took 2 of the dots from Fisto's armor and removed them. That was it.
Yeah, like anyone's gonna fucking get that, Joe. Come on.
They're good if you look side by side. What's funny though is Peter LaRose, and he's a guy that's great in the He-Man community of having a lot of rare stuff and selling, and big huge collector. He's the one that got that. He was like, I actually had to go get my Battle Bones box and look at the art, and then he's the one that actually discovered it. So he's seen that 2 of those little dots were gone.
Joe's a madman, and that picture that he drew in the magazine is his inner demon.
I didn't draw it. I'll say that again. And Grimbotch, now he's making fun of me saying movies don't need sound like I'm that old.
Oh.
Zentron said the biggest question of all time, does Doritos do the flaming hot tangy cheese flavor in the U.S.? I never heard of the tangy.
I know. I mean, I know they do the flaming hot flavor, but I don't know like the tangy cheese part. Joe, did you know that they're coming back out with 3D Doritos? You probably don't care. This is like a huge deal for me because I loved 3D Doritos in the late 90s. They only ran, I think it was from like, what was it? I want to say it was like 98, 99 until about 2004.
Were they like kind of puffed, almost like
not like
a Bugle.
Yeah, they were like puffy. Like it was a Dorito that was 3D, but I don't know because the flavors that they're coming out with, it's I think it's a different take because before I remember it just being like the nacho cheese flavor. So I think the regular flavor, it's not exactly nacho cheese. It's like something else. And then they got like a ranch flavor. Anyway, I'm excited for them. I can't wait to try them again. I know it won't be the same, but it'll be nice to have that back.
Well, hell, Doritos I liked. I remember one time they had barbecue flavored. I was going nuts about them because I was like, I like barbecue stuff, but I hate barbecue chips because barbecue chips always get burnt. You always get burnt barbecue chips. I was like, so I can't stand getting potato chips. And when Doritos came out with barbecue Doritos, I think that was like maybe 10 years ago or 11, I was losing my mind. I was buying the bags like crazy. After I was done, I'd rip the bag open. All the powder was there. I'd lick it up off the bag.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I just loved and I did. That's how my boss caught me one time. It was lunch break at the place I used to work at before I started doing customs for a living. It's my lunch break. I'm at my desk. I just finished the bag of Doritos, and I always would, like open it, peel it, and have it flat out. And there was all that powder. My mouth is actually watering thinking about it. And I leaned over and started licking, and then it got real quiet. Like somebody's looking at me, and I looked over to my left, and my boss was standing there. His name was Jim. He was just looking. He went, Jesus, Joe. And then he just walked away. But that's how he shook his head, and he looked at me and just shook his head. Jesus, Joe.
I would have done the same thing, because I think you're the only person I know that's actually opened the bag up and just, like, licks what's there. But, you got to get your money's worth, I guess.
But But I get every bit of it. It's not just sticking your finger into the corner, because you can't tell me, people in the chat room don't lie. When you sit there and you're done eating Doritos and then you have your finger, it's all wet, and you stick it all the way down into the corner of the bag to pull out that little bit of powder and lick it and keep doing it until it's gone. So that was it.
No.
Oh, shut up. Well, anyways,
I was going to say, when it comes to like Doritos or Cheetos or any of the stuff that leaves the dust on your fingers, I don't lick my fingers. I go and wipe them off or wash them off.
Oh, God, I lick it off. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, and just to let you know, I'm a chip licking person, or like Doritos. I actually will lick off like the powder before I eat it, because if you just take a Dorito and stick it in your mouth and chew it, yeah, it tastes kind of cheesy. But if you lick the cheese,
but then
then chew it,
really soggy.
Your brain... Let me finish. Well, and not as quick as I eat, but you just lick it, and you got this sensation, and your brain is just exploding with cheese flavor, and then you chew. All you're tasting is the cheese. Trust me, everybody, that's how you got to do it. Lick the Dorito and the powder off it, then chew it. No. Man, that's my tip of the day on how to eat a Dorito.
I have a thing about like actually putting my fingers in my mouth. I've never liked it, even if it's just like licking cheese dust off of my finger. I just can't do it. So I just go wipe my fingers off or wash my hands.
Question though, what about like if you're eating, barbecue? I mean, when you get your fingers loaded with barbecue sauce, you can't tell me you don't.
No, wipe them off or wash them off.
Oh, Christ Almighty! Jesus Christ! Oh my God! You wouldn't want to sit next to me, but I can't believe it. I've never met somebody that doesn't lick their fingers. I've never met somebody.
You're the guy that sits there with like a fucking T-bone steak in your hands, and you're just like eating it like a savage. So.
But. At home, like I said, when I was out in public, I made sure nobody was looking. But who would have thought this is how we're ending the podcast? That's by talking about eating. But
that's your thing.
But it's good. That's why I said it's when I went to a fancy restaurant. I made sure nobody was looking, because I asked my family, look, and they said nobody's looking. I had to pick up that big steak with my hand. Well, that's the thing. It's when you cut it, it's losing all the juice, and it's just getting stuck. It goes on the plate or dries up. When you pick it up with your hands, all that juice is in your mouth, and you could dip it in the sour cream or the butter.
But Joe, like if you cut it and the juices have poured out, you can take your fork with the piece of steak on it and still like move it around in the juices that are on the plate.
But the juice is still kind of on the plate. When you bite it, you ain't losing nothing. It's all in your mouth. Oh God!
But then you can like if you have like a roll or something, you can take the roll and like put it on the plate and swipe up the juices and eat it that way.
Oh yeah, I sop it up like that too. And now Grim's making it like I'm a caveman.
But I'm trying to think now. It's just like you guys are sitting at a restaurant. And you look at everybody, and like there's probably like 8 to 10 people at this table, and you make each one of them look in each direction to be like, is anybody watching? Why don't they just like throw a blanket over you or something so you can just...
Well, they know what I'm doing too, because I'll start eating and I start off a little bit with the fork and knife, but then I have this look when I'm anxious and I put down the utensils and I start rocking like I'm right here, and like. And they say, you want to pick it up,
God damn it, Joe.
Like,
all right. Everybody, can we stop eating? Look around. Make sure, which is probably drawing more attention to the table. Everyone looking around to make sure no one's looking at the table. All right, Joe, go ahead.
I just... It's good, though. I can't help it. Like, Grim's even asking if I listen to them ASMR food channels, because I linked him one where they showed this girl eating Popeye's chicken. Oh, my God. I didn't know what the hell this was, and then he explains what ASMR is. Like, well, I don't know. I was looking up Popeye's chicken just to, I don't know, see what it It's terrible when I'm not eating and I got to watch people eat. But it led to some girl on a channel, and it was on YouTube, and she's just chewing and crunches. Like, God, does that sound delicious? So, yeah, if you guys get a chance, type in ASMR Popeye's chicken girl. And
I think the closest thing that we have on this show is anytime Tyler takes a drink and you can hear his Adam's apple going up and down.
Or when he's chewing and eating, you can actually hear him swallow it, whether he's swallowing or... Yeah. So, all right, well, that's what a way to end it. Was on something food, but it was still, it was a fun issue. There was some crap. There was some good stuff. It's
always a good time to go through these things. Yeah.
So that was from the fall of 1985, issue 4. And we'll get to another one in probably a month. We'll get to issue 5. So is there anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
No, I don't think I got anything. There was part of me. It's like, oh, come on, Joe. We can do another one like tomorrow. but we'll save it. We'll save it.
We'll see. All right. Well, for anybody that's just joined us live, we appreciate you always being here. Hope you had a good time. And for people that are new to this channel, make sure you like. Wait. Mr. Indie Film Man. Stratos is amazing. Probably the best character. I think this is the first time Mr. Indie Film Man has ever commented. I wonder if it's somebody on a Facebook page trying to drive me nuts. That's it. We got to block Mr.
You are always
Indie Film Man right now. No, I'm just giving him shit. But goddamn, you had to bring. Why would you end this on Stratos?
Well,
You
I mean,
had to bring up Stratos. Now let me see what else.
Look at us, Joe. Stratos is all around us.
Yeah, I just seen that you did that too. I forgot. You had me getting choked. That's from Grim. Me getting pulled up in the face like He-Man did the Beast-Man. That's from Grim.
You know what else is gonna be? You know what else is gonna be from Grim?
All right, so
is when he redoes that drawing that you did from this magazine of. You got a name for it? Did that person name it? You got a name? We got to have a name for this thing.
So anybody that's new to this channel, I want to make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell so you can always be notified when we go live. And until next time, don't know when it's going to be. Definitely Sunday. We don't know if it'll be before then. Have a powerful
Stone Cold
day.
Steve Austin holds the record for most Royal Rumble victories with 3, having won in 1997, 98, and 2001. But 6 other wrestlers have won twice. Name them.
Oh Christ! I probably couldn't name one. Okay,
That's one.
Shawn Michaels. God, I don't want to say. Did Roman Reigns win twice or something, or is that not count? Oh, good, thank God.
Nope.
The Rock.
Nope.
Ric Flair.
You're just gonna go down the list.
I'm gonna rename it. I'm just gonna start.
Nope. I had to. I actually did have to because I had that idea in my head. No.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
I had it in my head that, like, I know Stone Cold won 3, but I was like, I know some have won twice. Let me look that up real quick. So I have it all pulled up right here. Are you ready to give up? You got a few more guesses. You got.
I give up. Well, I gave up when you first said it.
So
go ahead.
We have Hulk Hogan, who won in 1990 and 1991. You had Shawn Michaels, who won in 95 and 96. We have Triple H, who won in 2002 and 2016, which is the one where he actually... The 2016 one, you remember Roman Reigns went into it to defend the title. I think he started at 1 and Triple H won the whole thing or something like that. Batista in 2005 and 2014. John Cena in 2008 and 2013. And Randy Orton in 2009 and 2017. So there you go.
Well, you got me on that. My brain shut down. I got one of them, so I guess I did a 6th good. So that's it. See you guys next time.
Joe drew that.